Hey everyone, it's Jessica from Pretty Prints and Paper, and I am going to be joining the letter archive this month in April. The point of the letter archive is to have a place that you can look to find different styles of creating different letter forms. So I'm going to be doing a couple videos that highlight a few ways that I customize my calligraphy a couple letters at a time. So I'll be doing capitals and lowercase, and I'll be demoing a couple different types of brush pens to round it all out. So today I'm going to be doing letters A, B, C, D, E, and using the Zig Brushables and the Tombow dual brush pens. To start, I am going to use the Tombow to do a couple variations of the A, B, and C. So on my worksheet, I've shown a couple different forms of A, and I'll show you how I'm drawing them. I'm gripping my pen at an angle to the paper and resting my arm on the table, tilting my paper a little bit to an angle. I'm going to be starting here, up, down, and then doing the crossbar. So very lightly up, and then pushing down, and then from that crossbar you can connect to your next letter, or you can just start afresh. So I'll do that one more time. This is the more traditional A with a little flourish there. Oops, sometimes I do the crossbar first. My rules, right? So this is one of my favorite variations to do, which is this little loop here. So I'll try to go slowly, but I'm going to go down, up, curl, do the crossbar, and then do this second stroke here. Light, very light touch. And then you can kind of do this A variation as a uppercase as well. When you practice varying your letter forms, you can do a couple different things. So you can close this more. You can always play with the size of the narrowness of the letter. So if you want to do something like super narrow, that's a different look as well. And then remember that you can always do the more traditional calligraphy slant if you want to play with some variations. Lowercase, if you want to do more of a traditional copper plate A, you'll do the oval first and then the downstroke. Or if you're more modern, the other thing that you can play with is how much of a loop that you might have. So for example, if I intentionally loop there, that's not the best thing that I've ever done, but you can get the idea that you can add a little space there for some kind of whimsy and fun. B, contrary to some other calligraphers, B is one of my favorite letters. So this is that traditional B I remember learning in grade school. Just the down. Or something a little more simple is just that little stem here. And then you can use this line to connect to your next letter. Something else I've seen people play with is this spacing here. So you can go down and then intentionally start leaving space in between this connector. Or I've even seen people go and almost do a really thin U right here. So play around with that variation. Here's that other curly Q that I love so much, and I'm going to do it all in one go. So down, light, curl, so almost all in one. Lowercase. Some people break here and then leave room for the downstroke. Up, down, connect. Other modern calligraphers will vary a couple things. So they'll vary the size of this loop and this loop. So you can kind of do it that way. Oops. Or you can really exaggerate the size of that big loop. Play around with that. This one is a different way of calligraphing a more traditional print B. So down, connect. C, I have very few variations for a C, so you can just do this slightly flourished capital C. You can add a little curly Q if you want. And then this is a fun one. I think I learned this from Molly Suber-Thorpe in her book, Modern Calligraphy. I'll try to go really slow. Down, over. So I'll show you again. Cross, loop back, up, and down. So that one's really fun. Lowercase, I don't have very many variations of lowercase, so I just do that traditional simple C, or you can add a little knob if you want to as well. Now, obviously with the Tombow, you're going to want to use much bigger letters, so you can get this kind of finer control over your letters. I'll be showing you a couple variations with my Pentel Sign brush pens so that you can kind of see a smaller, more controlled thin line. So for the D's, this is that traditional one that I learned in grade school, now with the Zig Brushable tip. So I'm going to go down. Pretty simple. So you can keep that down here, or you can, bring it over, connect. Just like that B, you can have the little stem that goes out, down, connect. Again, you can kind of separate, play around with where that connects on the second stroke there. Here's that curly Q variation. Down, light, curl, down. This is the one that I learned. Let me see if I can even do this, right? One, loop, loop. I think I did that right. Lowercase, you've got that copper plate oval, and then that downstroke. Or if you want to do something a little more loopy, you can add that extra spacing in here and play with the size of that. So I've seen people do like a really tiny, but then a really big loop. So that gives you some really cool variations in your words. The cool part about these stems is that you can add a lot of different flourishes to them. So you can do this and then come around and add that to the bottom. So again, and there's so many fun things you can do with that there. So play around. E, more simple capital letter, or if you slant it even further. Or that other variation I did with the C, I can do this with an E as well. So loop back, down, up. So that's fun. Or you can do even just a little stem. This one I don't use as much, but you know, the more elegant capital E. And lowercase, I don't have other variations besides where I might place it in a word, so I might have it higher up. And that's just the E. So those are just a couple of my variations. I'll be doing some more in the future, so keep your eye out, subscribe to the channel. If you liked it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Hopefully I taught you something or gave you some things to practice today. I'll be posting an image of these and hopefully doing some worksheets up on my blog, so check that out at prettyprintsandpaper.com. Otherwise, like it, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!